All right, my friends, this lesson is for pages 687 and 701, so hopefully you have those ones ready to go. We're going to do kind of a review first. So let's look at this question. Actually, that's not the one I wanted. Let me change it to the one I meant, this one. Tom measures his desk. So think about a desk at school. What is a reasonable measurement for Tom's desk? Would it make sense that Tom's desk would only be 2 inches? That could be either 2 inches high, 2 inches, my friends. Does that make sense? Probably not. We're thinking a desk here. 3 feet, remember that's about a yard. Would that be about 3 feet off the ground? Would it be about 8 feet off the ground? Or would it be 10 yards? Remember, 10 yards would be 30 feet because a yard is 3 feet. And if I have 10 of them, I would have 30 yards. Which one makes the most sense for a desk? If I were to measure a desk, I think it would most likely be 3 feet because the other ones really don't make sense. Okay, so that would say what is reasonable. Okay, so we're going to use terms like that when you're taking your tests and when you're thinking about things. So we need to make sure that we understand how to read those problems. So 3 feet is reasonable because that is about how big a desk would be. 8 feet does not make sense. 10 yards, definitely not. That would be a huge desk. And 2 inches, that'd be like for a doll. So too small. Today we get to start talking about a new type of measurement. We've been talking about inches and feet and yards. Those are all units of measurement known as customary units. Okay? Here in the United States, we use the customary measurements most often. We talk about inches and feet and yards and miles. Those are the ones we use. But almost every other place in the world actually uses something else called the metric system, and they use these guys, centimeters. And they also use meters. We'll talk about those more in just a minute. So let's talk about centimeters and inches. Let's compare these two rulers. We have our inches. Here's 1 inch. Remember, 1 inch is about that first joint in my thumb. And look at our centimeters here. 1 centimeter is much shorter than 1 inch. In fact, 1 centimeter is about the width across of my fingernail, okay? So across here is about 1 centimeter. So I'll show you. I found a different ruler. Hopefully this is a little easier to read. Not a lot. So here's my 1 centimeter. If I hold my finger up there, you can see it's a little bit longer, but it's about the same, okay? So I like to use parts of my hands to help me with that because I can visualize and I can see it right there. I don't have to think about some other thing to help me remember. So I like to use bits of my body to help me know to measure. So that's why I'm giving you those tips and hints. So sometimes it's great to use an inch because we're measuring something bigger, but when we want to measure something a little smaller, sometimes centimeters is a lot more helpful because we can get a lot closer. So just like with the other ones, you are going to actually be doing measuring, and on your paper, I believe I gave you one that has inches on one side, just like this one does. We have inches on one side. If you flip it over, you have the littler ones, the centimeters. Okay, that's the wrong end again. I'm sorry, I'm always showing you the wrong end. Okay, this one has centimeters. They're a little bit smaller. But they usually have the same one on the same ruler, so that makes it nice. You can just use the same thing you've been using, okay? Even on tape measures, let's see. Oh, that one doesn't. Sorry. That one doesn't either. My tape measures don't have them. Oh, this one does. This tape measure has inches, and then down below it has centimeters. On the other side, it's just inches. So if I need to measure in centimeters, I also have those on there. They're really hard to see because they're so small. Okay, so you're going to be using the centimeters to estimate. Remember, again, estimating means looking and thinking about how long and then doing the actual measuring. And some of the objects, remember, if you don't have those objects at home, it's okay. Find something similar or just tell me what it is you're measuring and that will be perfect. Okay, so queso, it's not cheese. Let's look at this one. Nicole has 3 square photos. Each photo is 33 centimeters in length. If she lines the photos up side by side, what's the total length? So she has her 3 pictures. There's 1, 2, and 3, and we know each one is 33 centimeters. Okay, cm is how we abbreviate that. This one's 33, and this one's 33, and this one is 33 centimeters. So what am I going to have to do to figure out this whole length across here? I'm going to have to add them up, right? So 33, 33, that's a lot of 3's, and 33. If I add it all, 3 plus 3 plus 3, if I do 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 more is 9. And guess what? That's the same thing here. There we go. So it would be 99. And remember, I need to tell what we measured with centimeters. 99 centimeters long. So the total length of the 3 photos is 99 centimeters. So just like with inches or any other number, we can add them up. We just want to make sure that we tell what we measured in. Okay? So again, we're going to kind of jump through these. Let's look at this one with our vocabulary words, okay? So we can use a centimeter ruler to measure in centimeters. Centimeters are the smaller ones, about the width of my finger across here. Yours might be closer to your thumb. Check and see. That way you have a good reference for how you can estimate your centimeters. And then it says use a meter stick to measure in meters. There are 100 centimeters in a meter, okay? So this one, I'm gonna leave way back here. This one has 45 centimeters on it because that's how long this one happens to be, okay? Just 45. 100 centimeters is a little longer than this yardstick. Okay, my yardstick doesn't have centimeters on it, but it's a little bit longer than that. It's about 3 inches longer. So that kind of gives you an idea of how long meters are going to be. So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So, and then if you look at that, you can see measuring here again, we line it up on the 0. Always, always, always line it up with the 0 or the end of the ruler and measure to the next closest number. So this one's about 5 centimeters. And you'll be measuring these objects at your house, estimating and then measuring, and it's not these exact ones. I think you have the homework page. So let's talk about comparing. Just like we did with inches and feet, we can compare with centimeters and meters, okay? Now, if you look down here in our answers, it asks for 2 different ways to measure. It asks both in centimeters and inches. Okay, so you're gonna have to use 2 ends of our ruler here, both sides. Find a pair of scissors, and it says in the classroom, but since you're at home, find a pair at home. I had a pair. Where did they go? I'll find them. There we go. There's my scissors. And a thumbtack. I don't have a thumbtack, but I do have a safety pin, so that's what we're gonna use for mine. And they're similar. They're kind of close. So it says measure the length and then compare them. So first it asks for centimeters. So I'm going to measure my scissors. Let's see if I can hold that up there. If I go to my longest one, can we read that number there? No, because it's over here. 12. We're going to go with, well, yeah, we're going to go with 12 because it's a little closer to 12. So the scissors are 12 centimeters. And the thumbtack, or we're actually using a safety pin. And let's hold that one up there. Yeah, it's closer to the 2, so we're going to say that it is 2 centimeters. The length of the thumbtack is blank inches, and then we're going to say longer or shorter. I wonder if they meant to write centimeters there. I'm going to say yes. So I'm actually going to just cross that out. And we're going to change it to centimeters because it doesn't make sense to change measurements. So now let's compare these using centimeters because that's what we measured them in. So I would have to take away and find the difference between these two. So 12 take away 2 would be 10. So the length of the thumbtack is 10 centimeters. And is that longer or shorter than the scissors? Well, I can look at the pictures and I can see definitely shorter. So 10 centimeters shorter. Just like we did with the inches and feet page, comparing, we're going to measure and then we're going to find the difference between the two and tell whether it was longer or shorter. So good luck with those 2 pages today. Make sure you take pictures and either send them to me on an email or load them on ClassDojo.